Good evening, everyone. I am Sensei Kevlar. So, Proof of Weak Hands. It's this new smart contract on Ethereum. Allows token holders to get passive income. There's kind of a little bit of a flaw that people are experiencing at the moment, which is that when the website goes down, let me show you. When their distributed exchange goes down, it makes it a little bit trickier to interact with the smart contract directly. So I thought I'd just do a really quick tutorial explaining how to, get around that and make this work. What you want to start off by doing is going to myetherwallet.com. Get on over to there and click on the contracts. And what you want to do is you want to get the address for the contract. I'm going to get the address for the contract right here. I've got it in my clipboard. And put that in there. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to go over to etherscan.io and you want to put in an address, that same address that I was just pasting in there. It's the address for the contract. This is the contract address for the P3D. And what you do is you go to read the smart contract. Is that right? No, it's the contract source. Yeah, here we go. You go to read the contract source, and you go to the contract ABI, and you copy that to your clipboard. You come back here to my Ether wallet, and you paste it in here. And you press access. And what that does is that gives you a list of functions that you're able to use. So the most obvious thing that you probably want to do is you might want to buy something. And of course, if you're going to buy something, you should probably refer your friend. Of course, I'm going to be sneaky and refer myself here. I don't even know if this will work. But then what you would do is you would say, use your MetaMask, and then connect, and then write. And then if you want to buy, like 0.1, you can set a really high gas limit to make it go really fast, because you'll just spend whatever it is you want, and then what that'll do is assuming I don't double click there, it'll say, yes, make that transaction. And your MetaMask should pop up and say, hey, do you want to send that? And when you can confirm that you really are sending, 0.1 from to the right place and everything, and confirm that, and then you will get your transaction. And in this way, you will get P3D tokens into your wallet. Then what you could do is, if you wanted to say, hey, how many tokens do I have? I could say, get me the dividends of this, how many dividends do I have? And then read that amount out. And of course, this is in Ether, so you got to subtract 18 decimal places. So I have probably, 0.01 in dividends coming or something. I could do something like reinvest. Here's the same thing, right? And if I wanted to reinvest, I could, write, and then this would be a zero amount. So, okay, so one point I want to make is when you're doing this, the only time that you ever actually want to send Ether is when you're doing a buy. Because what you want to do is you want to specify how much Ether you're going to spend when you're buying. Everything else should be a zero spend transaction. For instance, if I wanted to sell, I would specify how many tokens I wanted to sell. So if I was selling 100 tokens, I would say, do that. But then when I go to actually send, I'm going to send 0 Ethereum. Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to invoke the contract that says sell, and sell this amount being 100 tokens. But I don't want to spend any money, because it shouldn't cost me anything. And then I would generate that transaction, and then make sure, and it would prompt me here in MetaMask, and I would say confirm, and then I would sell 100 tokens. I'm not going to do that because I have stronger hands than that. So that's the idea, but just by using the contract address in the ABI, you can access all of the individual functions, and some of these things you're not going to be able to access, like some of these things are only for administrators, like you're not going to be able to change set the name unless you are in fact an administrator. And if you go to, or an ambassador, if you go to the contract, you can see who the ambassadors are. But disable initial stage, you can't do that. But if there's a couple things here that you might want to do, the third thing you might want to do is you might want to transfer. In which case, if you want to transfer to your buddy, this is basically how you would sell them. If you want to say, send me your Ethereum and I'll send you my tokens. What you could do is you could say, I'm going to transfer to my buddy's address and I'm going to transfer 100 tokens. And then I write, and again, because I'm not buying anything, I'm just transferring tokens around. Sorry, that was a misclick on my part. Anyway, it's because I'm not buying anything, because I'm transferring tokens around. That should be a zero spend. You should not be spending anything in order to make that happen. Okay, so hopefully that answers a few questions, and I'll try and get this pinned in a couple places for people who, want to be able to use this thing without when the website's down. Because just at the moment the website's down, and I know the developer's sleeping. I'm sure he's gonna wake up in the morning and press a button and it's going to come popping back up, and then this is going to become completely pointless. You're not going to need to do this anymore. But for the time being, it might be a little bit helpful to be able to do that. Anyway, I'm Sensei Kevlar, and have a great evening. Good night.